You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. Ed Ogeron, SEC Coaches Teleconference on Wednesday, just a couple of days after we learned that All-American wide receiver Kayshon Boutte done for the year with that ankle injury. We also learned today an unfortunate end of the season for All-American cornerback Eli Ricks.
We received news this week that Eli Ricks will be out, unavailable the rest of the season. So that means we have to move maybe Cordell Flott to cornerback, Sage Ryan to nickel. We have a different combination that we're going to work this week. But that's the news about players unavailable, new stuff this week.
There was a follow-up a bit later in the teleconference asking Ogeron what it was that is keeping Ricks out for the season.
It was a nagging injury, jog here and there, and he kept on playing with it. It just kept on reoccurring. So he and his family decided that they were going to operate on.
Full disclosure, I had a long conversation today with Shauna Ricks, who is Elias Ricks' mother. You might remember Shauna had been a guest on the show a couple times during the recruitment process. We've stayed in touch. Wonderful lady, amazing family. I think very highly of all of them. And she was comfortable today speaking to me on the record because she wanted to make it abundantly clear that this is not an opt-out. That Elias Ricks is not opting out, that he is not even thinking about the NFL. And a lot of this stems from a lot of the conversation that surrounded her son and their family in the spring and the summer. There were a lot of rumors that started, if you remember, on other teams' message boards that started circulating. And the thing I said then, over and over and over and over again to all of you, was, why are you paying attention to an Ohio State message board about an LSU kid? The people that cover this team every single day, that have those relationships, if they're not saying it, there's probably nothing to it. And there wasn't. This is all stuff that Shauna Ricks and I discussed today. She was comfortable with me disclosing. And also tip of the cap, Brody Miller from The Athletic has a write-up. He spoke with Shauna Ricks today also. Elias Ricks and his family moved to Baton Rouge when he signed with the Tigers. Both of his parents work in Baton Rouge. They own their home in Baton Rouge. And Elias Ricks' brother attends school in Baton Rouge. They are not leaving. They are not transferring. They are not opting out. There has been no conversation about that whatsoever. The family was very quiet last spring when Elias had surgery because that news never got out about the surgery. And they wanted to make sure their circle was aware of it, their family. She was very clear that the reason she was willing to speak to me today is because when Ed Ogeron made this announcement today, they had not yet had time to talk to their family. As a matter of fact, Elias and the family is meeting with the surgeon today at 5:30. So that hasn't even happened. So surgery has not happened yet, but it's going to. What you may not know, and this will make a lot of sense when you go back and look at film from 2020, is that Elias Ricks tore his labrum in the 2020 season. He played through it. He played through the pain through the 2020 season, played very well, despite having the torn labrum. If you go back and look at pictures from 2020, you will see a brace or you'll see kinesio tape. Like, go look at the Florida game. You'll see kinesio tape and a brace on that arm. After the season, he had surgery, which is why he missed spring and was not available during the summer. He wasn't opting out. He wasn't leaving or transferring. He had shoulder surgery. He was rehabbing that before he rejoined the team, and that didn't happen until almost up to the start of this season. Well, he had a similar injury that progressively got worse, and against Kentucky, got to the point to where he could no longer play. That's why he was removed from the Kentucky game, and you saw Darren Evans go in. It was the point where, as it was described to me, his mind is saying go and his body was saying no. So that's what happened there. The family is very committed to LSU, and Shauna Ricks wanted me to reiterate today another point, which is that Elias committed to LSU in 2017 after the Troy loss. She made it abundantly clear. This was not about the record. This isn't about wins and losses. Elias loves LSU. He loves his teammates. He's committed to this program. Doesn't want to go anywhere. It's not about that at all. He loves playing football. He's devastated that his season is over. But it literally got to the point where the pain was such that his body couldn't do what his mind was telling him to do. And so if you're at that point and now you're hurting the team by being out there, that's when it's time to have something done. So he had an MRI after the Kentucky game, and it confirmed that they do need to have surgery, and that's why he's having this procedure now. So meeting the doctor again today at 5:30, and then is going to move forward with surgery and hopefully get it stronger, take the necessary time he needs to get it 100% to come back and have a great junior year. So for LSU in the meantime, what that means is what you heard Ed Ogeron say there. Of course, you've got Dwight McGlothern at one outside corner, and you could very well move Cordell Flott there. The massively disappointing part here is you started this season with Stingley and Ricks and thought, we got the best cover corner tandem in America if you're LSU. And now Stingley's injury, Ricks' injury, they're gone, and you have to look forward with McGlothern and whoever else is opposite him. Maybe, as you heard Ed Ogeron say, they might move Cordell Flott to the outside corner. Against Kentucky, you saw Darren Evans play that role a little bit. If you remember, Darren Evans was the grad transfer who they signed from Nichols a year ago, and the game at this level is just a little too quick for him. So if Flott is your best option, then potentially Sage Ryan plays that nickel role. And remember, Sage had been working at nickel safety. So that would make a lot of sense, but you're talking about guys that haven't really played those positions at this level. Moving Flott outside and Ryan, who hasn't played at all. So clearly it makes you much weaker in your secondary when you take both Stingley and now Ricks off the field, because not only are you missing their presence, but now you're shuffling the deck as well, and you're not as good in those places by moving more guys to fill that role. The maybe positive news is this week against Florida, that probably doesn't matter because they're not a great passing offense. They're a rushing offense. They're third in the country in rushing offense. A week from now, though, when you go to Ole Miss, this is devastating. When you're going to face that offense, that thin in the secondary, that spells trouble. Just another lump that LSU takes here in a season filled with them as they look to the second half of the schedule where wins, aside from ULM, are going to be decidedly hard to come by. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.